Interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a good one this morning. Quiet out there for now, but of course, the big focus right now today of this live is the winds and the rain that are headed our way as we head towards this afternoon. It looks like we're going to see a fairly significant high wind event here for the state as we head later on into today. Power outages looking pretty likely here for many parts of the area, especially along the coastline and especially over in mid-coast Maine. So we'll jump into our forecast here in just a second. If you have any questions, love to hear from you. Drop it in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. So let's jump into our forecast here. Got some rain falling out there, some drizzle, some sprinkles. Overall, not too bad out there as of right now. We do have some snow falling in the mountains, but like I mentioned, not too bad right now. Of course, the big threat comes this afternoon. Taking a look at current temperatures, you can see we are not very cold out there anymore. We had some temperatures close to the freezing mark earlier this morning. Now we're all pretty much above freezing except for in Rangeley and Skowhegan. And this is going to be a all rain event for the most part. It's going to be very mild when it's going to be rainy and windy later on today. And Joel asks how much rain? Right around an inch for most of us. So not enough to cause major flooding. So that's some good news there. Cross your fingers. We don't lose power in Fayette. I will. My fingers are crossed for you. Hoping for everybody that we don't lose power. But it is definitely a possibility. And in fact, in all likelihood, almost a guarantee, at least for parts of the area to see it. I wouldn't guarantee you specifically, any one person specifically will lose power. But I think there will be some power outages later on today. Let's talk about what we're expecting for our planner today. You can see the rain and wind quickly begins as we head towards 3 o'clock or so. 3 p.m. is probably when we'll see that starting, continuing through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening as well. That's when we'll see the strongest winds and also the heaviest rain. Notice temperatures very mild in the lower and even middle 50s out there later on this evening. So a high wind warning. If you're in Rockland watching, you're probably going to be the bullseye for this event in terms of the strongest winds. Penobscot Bay, Knox, Lincoln, Waldo, Saginaw counties, all in that high wind warning. That goes until 11 p.m. where we could see gusts up to 60 miles per hour in some spots. Definitely enough to knock down branches, maybe even uproot a few trees and knock out the power as well. So this one, especially in the mid-coast, looks pretty significant later today. I would plan, maybe not a bad idea to plan to be just hanging out at home for the rest of this afternoon and evening. Thomas says hello from Clinton. Hey, Clinton. Everybody in Clinton, hope you're doing well today. All right, for the rest of us, a wind advisory in place, but I don't want that to take away from the fact that we are still expecting a high-end event here. We may not be under the high wind warning, but the step down is very small. Gusts up to 50 to 55 miles per hour for the rest of us in the wind advisory. That includes Portland, that includes Sanford, that includes York, that includes Kennebec and Androscoggin counties, so Lewiston, Auburn, Augusta, all in that wind advisory, as well as every other county in the state of Maine that is not under that high wind warning. So this is a statewide event. We are all seeing the strong winds and the heavy rain. Got the rain here in SC. I'm assuming you're meaning South Carolina. Yes, that same storm system headed our way. And of course, we had a tornado outbreak in the deep south yesterday. That is the same system heading our way. In Corno, we've been getting some random snowflakes like the ones that randomly float by the window, some wind. I hope everyone stays safe. Yep. If you're further inland, we did have some snow earlier this morning, maybe even some still falling right about now. So yeah, don't be surprised if you do see some snowflakes in the mountains today. And all of us have the chance of some snowflakes as we head into the day tomorrow. So let's talk timing here. Let's get a look at our storm tracker. You can see the rain arriving 3 p.m. or so is when the arrival time will be for most of us. That's also when the winds will really start to ramp up noticeably. So 3 p.m. onward, that's when things get a little dicey here. So from now till 3 p.m., other than in the mountains where we're still seeing a little bit of snow and some ice, you're good for now. There's not a whole lot going on. You could probably get some errands done. And then when we get to 3 p.m. onward, that's when things get a little bit messy. The worst conditions look to be later on this evening when we get the cold front moving on in. There we go. 7:30 p.m. or so, 7 to 8 p.m. I've highlighted for the Portland area. Most likely to see the worst conditions at that time with the strongest winds and the heaviest rain. Notice how mild it is in the 50s. So 7 or so in the Portland area for the worst conditions. All of us 5 to 9 9 p.m. for the very worst of the conditions later on this evening. Things will wrap up fairly quickly, though. By 10:30, 11 o'clock tonight, we are going to be done with the rain, which is some good news there. Clearing out a little bit more overnight. Winds will calm down briefly, and then they'll ramp back up tomorrow. Yeah, a lot of snow shower activity in store for our Thursday. Very windy. We'll see some squalls and some snow showers. So brief reductions in visibility, quick coatings of snow out there. And that's true for pretty much all of us. So even here at the coastline, we could see some snow squalls tomorrow afternoon. We do finally calm down by Thursday evening. We will finally see the winds dying down as we head into Friday. So 2 days really of some very strong winds here. Let's track the winds out, gusting quickly up to 40 to 45 miles per hour as we head into this evening. We'll see some gusts approaching 50 as we reach the peak of the winds. Here we are at 7:30, 55. 45 to 55 mile per hour gusts will be very common along the coastline. In the mid-coast, we could see gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So that's going to be the big concern there in the mid-coast as we head into the day tomorrow, or into this evening, I should say, with that cold front moving through. Like I mentioned, by the time we get to about 10 o'clock or so, 10, 11, that's when the winds will begin to die back down. And overnight tonight into very early tomorrow, the winds will be not calm, but they'll be a whole lot less extreme than they will be this evening. Now, tomorrow, the winds will ramp right back up. Here we are tomorrow at noon. We're going to see gusts again up towards 40 miles per hour. And there's a chance of some snow showers and snow squalls out there tomorrow as well. So that's going to be something to keep in mind for your Thursday. Also going to be very windy, very cold, and potentially with some snow as well. Finally calming down Thursday evening, and then heading into Friday, also looking on the calmer side. Someone asked how much rain. Here's a good look at that. Up to an inch, I'd say, for most. All of that's going to be falling, though, in a fairly short amount of time. So we could see some ponding, some big puddles out there, but flooding, not a widespread concern with this event, thankfully. It's moving very quickly, and we already have enough to deal with the wind. So we'll be glad to not have to deal with any major flooding issues. Not the only rain and wind event, unfortunately, this week. Saturday looks like we do it again. Not quite as strong as today, but windy, rainy out there on Saturday afternoon and evening once again, ahead of another storm system. This one also looks pretty mild as well. So not our only messy storm system we will see this week. There's another one coming for the first half of this weekend. So I'm going to quickly pull up the 7-day. I'm going to go back to our storm tracker here, and we'll go through that one more time, and then I'll wrap things up. So here's a look at our 7-day forecast. Some flurries and snow showers for Thursday. Quieter on Friday. Another rainy and windy day on Saturday. Windy again on Sunday, but the sunshine returns. Similar story for Monday. Sunny once again, ahead of some more rain or snow chances next week. Yes, we're going to see a pattern change after the first week of December, and it does look like much more favorable for winter weather here across the state. Let's take a look for inland areas here. We'll see, again, that rain and wind today, some snow showers, some snow squalls tomorrow, windy again. A mixture of sun and clouds, much calmer on Friday, and then more rain and wind as we head into Saturday, with things calming down for early next week and returning to some sunshine. So like I said, I'm going to quickly pull up our storm tracker, I should say, here one more time. I'm going to go through the timing once more. Like I said, if you have any questions or concerns about your area, I'd be happy to answer them for you. So let's talk about the rain arriving right around 3 p.m. And that's when we'll see the winds ramping up as well, with our temperatures in the 50s. Really, things will ramp up, though, especially as we head into this evening. By 7 to 8 p.m. or so in the Portland area, that's probably when we see the worst of the conditions. Overall for all of us, probably 5 to 8 or 9 p.m. for worse conditions for all of us, with things gradually improving for the rest of the overnight hours. Here we are later on in the nighttime. We'll even see some clearing out there. Winds will die down briefly, and then they'll pick back up again heading into Thursday with snow showers and snow squalls on Thursday afternoon. Winds will again be very strong on Thursday. So remember, winds up to 45 to 55 miles per hour. Here's a look at the wind speeds again as we head into tomorrow, or this evening, I should say. Winds will gust up to 45 to 55 miles per hour. Mid-coast Maine could see gusts up to 60 miles per hour, which is where we will see the worst impacts from this system here. So here we are when Portland is probably seeing its strongest gusts at this time. And then as we head later on into the evening, things should quiet down a bit for the Portland area. Still going to be breezy, just not as extreme as what we will see earlier on in the evening. And of course, tomorrow, very windy as well, gusts up to 40 miles per hour, cold, and with the chance of some snow showers and some snow squalls out there. So just going to pull up one more thing very quickly. Yes, I heard that CMP is very prepared. They have gotten some, they've gotten their trucks already. I think that don't quote me on this, but I think they had 200. It was something like that, 200 trucks ready and in preparation for this storm. All right, let's take one last look at which areas see the chance of seeing the highest winds. Our high wind warning in place for mid-coast Maine, gusts 55 miles per hour or higher. That also goes towards down east Maine. That's where we'll see the strongest winds. So Rockland, Camden, I'm looking at you, probably going to be the sort of the bullseye for the strongest winds. And for the rest of us, a wind advisory for gusts up to 50 miles per hour, if not even a little higher than that in spots, especially along the coastline as we head later on into this evening. So stay safe, everybody. Charlie will be in a little while to do another Facebook Live later on today. Of course, I'll be on at noon, and he'll be tracking everything for you heading into this evening. So hope everyone has a great rest of your Wednesday. Stay safe out there. Don't be surprised if you lose power. It wouldn't be a bad idea to keep your devices charged this morning, just in preparation for this evening. So have a great one, everybody, and stay safe for our wind event that we have heading our way.
This has been live interactive Weather Authority coverage